God bless America and all that, right? Hmm. Fuck. uh, what a bunch of pieces of shit. Oh, it's fucking freezing out here. Holly, don't fucking type. Don't. What happened? Somebody wanted to complain. That's the thing, Holly. Don't fucking type here. You are not wanted. You are not interested in helping. You've shown that. You don't give a shit. You are here to get your name on YouTube where it'll get noticed. Oh, look, you typed with that crazy guy. No, all you did was fuck shit up and complain that I'm mean when you fuck shit up. You can't pay attention, but then you want to type to other people to pay attention. You know, the only thing worse than them fucking trolls typing over and over and over again all their stupid shit is somebody typing even more stupid shit, eating up my chat, arguing with them trolls doesn't work. That's just a fact of life. You don't care if people hurt me. You don't care if I freeze to death. You just don't care. No biggie. Most people don't care. Most people do exactly what you did. Pretend to care. Do you care about what matters? You pretend to care about somebody's life. Well, how about their quality of life? Huh? How would you like being assaulted all the time? How would you like it? Huh? See, here's one thing that none of you women will ever understand. Most of you women, most of you who claim that you've been harmed sexually have harmed people sexually. You blame men for your shitty dating decisions, and then you blame men for the shitty decisions of the idiots that you chose to date. Oh, but they were good looking and dreamy. Huh? That makes it okay to destroy some innocent people's lives. You'll throw away a friendship of 20 years for some good looking dick. And then you'll type about how men are all superficial and men are all rapists. Jesus fuck. Oh. On the bright side, I'm fucking freezing just so I can have the door open, just so I can use the internet on my phone. Oh, fucking freezing. Jesus. Oh. So we got this Holly lady. She doesn't give a fuck what happened. Seriously, what's more fucking important, turning in fucking abuse or what happened? Well, what do you think happened? People trying to push me to suicide, and that's exactly how you do it. When somebody's been bullied to the point they want their lives to end, you bully them further, don't you? You bully them until they actually commit suicide, don't you? You're all fucking trash. All of you. You don't give a fuck about other people. Yep, another restricted number, more than likely. Yep, restricted number. Over and fucking over and fucking over. What a bunch of fucking pieces of shit. Of course, Holly, she gives a shit. She'll type in chat, but won't talk to me like a person. Won't send me a goddamn email. Claims that she created an email. Fuck is it? Nowhere. Nowhere. What's Holly gonna do about it? Nothing. She doesn't give a shit. She'll type in chat and pretend like she does. When it comes to actually lifting the goddamn finger to do something, no, she ain't.
For LGBTQI plus youth and young adults. That's 3. Otherwise, talk with a counselor. Stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. If you stay on the line at the end of the call, you may be invited to participate in a short survey. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this.
I don't need a counselor to talk. I need one to shut the fuck up.
You are not alone. We care and want to support you. Hi, 988 Nebraska. How may I help you?
Hello, my name is Sean Schwartz, and I don't have a 988 Oregon to call. However, you guys push people to commit suicide, and it's disgusting.
That's really not our aim.
Well, when people call you because they're in crisis, when people are calling you because they're support, I don't consider it support. When people call you up because they're sent to you because they're in crisis, because they're being abused, it's because they need you to do your job as a mandated reporter, not talk over them and coddle them like they're 5-year-olds. Or get an attitude like many people at 988 do. You know,
I experience discipline. Sorry.
Well, it's not just 988. I'm a homeless disabled man, so every single service talks over me. And every single service tells me in an emergency to call 911. But if I call 911 in an emergency, I just get bullied by the police. No matter how much vandalism, no matter how many assaults, it doesn't matter, because the police aren't going to investigate it. I've had everything in my life stolen in the last 8 years, over and over again. Evidence of abuse against at-risk adults, evidence of abuse against children. But it doesn't matter, because the moment somebody calls you mentally ill, all of your rights go away. And anybody can harm you whenever they want.
Yeah, that sounds like a, really scary situation to be in, to feel so vulnerable.
No, I am vulnerable. It's not a feeling. See, that's one of the things people keep trying to change up on me that's real annoying. I am at risk. I am assaulted, often, frequently. People bully me, that includes the police. I'm assaulted, that includes by police. I was sexually assaulted in the prison in Lincoln by the guards. Right now, one of the issues that I'm having is with the courts giving out my phone number, so now I have a restricted caller calling over and over and over again. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to somehow be fine with this, while people pretend that I'm trying to kill them because I speak up. I'm actually being stalked, actually being physically assaulted, and police don't care. Neither do the folks at 988. Neither do the people at 911. Neither do the people at 211.
Yeah, it sounds like, you're going through a lot of horrible things right now and feeling very alone because you haven't really felt hurt by anybody else.
No, I haven't been heard by anybody else. I'm not heard by anybody at all. There's listening to understand and listening to respond, and most people listen to respond. Most people pretend that autistic folks don't understand social cues. Well, when your friend is being victimized, whether they're autistic or not, you help them turn it in. That's a social cue. You don't turn it into a conversation. That's one of the things that autistic people have the biggest issue with, is that if we try to tell you nicely that there's a problem, we're talked over as if there isn't a problem. Meanwhile, men have that issue in general. If we talk calmly and collectively, we're blown off as if there isn't an issue. And the more we get blown off, the bigger the issue gets. If we're being assaulted and we're talking calmly and collectively, and it doesn't do anything and we're assaulted again, we're not going to be happy about being assaulted again. We might say it a little bit more stern. Now, of course, when you've been assaulted dozens of times, or depending on how long it goes on, literally hundreds of times, yeah, you're probably going to be real quick to snap. You're going to be real quick when people are passing judgment and asking 10 million questions to snap at them and say, just shut the fuck up, please. Although the word please doesn't generally show up. The fact that bullies here in Tillamook are trying to bully me to kill myself, including the cops, is gross. It's disgusting. Nobody should be bullied into committing suicide, especially not by police, especially not by 988. And that's what it becomes when we're calling in because we're being harmed and we need a mandated reporter to do the job of a mandated reporter. There's no checks and balances. Even if we do make the call to all these different places we're told to, nobody's going to look at it because nobody's got the balls to stand up to the cops. When it comes to mandated reporting, it doesn't matter if the person that they're trying to report on is a cop or not. If a police officer commits rape and somebody calls you up and says, hey, I was raped by a police officer, you still have to do the job if they're in a nursing home, if they tell you they're disabled, or if they tell you they're a kid. However, when you tell people you're disabled, they generally start playing stupid immediately. Many of them immediately start grabbing for the mentally ill tag to try to infer that you're a retard. And that's not just hurtful to one of us, that's hurtful to all of us. Not everybody who's quote unquote mentally ill is retarded. Not everybody who's autistic is retarded. The fact that we're treated like we're retarded is pretty retarded. Because of my disabilities, I'm easy to railroad. It's illegal to do it, but people do it anyway. Instead of telling me to do a bunch of stuff that I'm incapable of doing because of abuse, how about help stop the abuse so I can do those things for myself? When people call you up and they tell you that they were assaulted by a police officer, take it seriously. Take the information and turn it in. Otherwise, it ends up a situation like with what I'm dealing with right now. Literally every one of these places that I call in to try to explain to them I need them to do their job as a mandated reporter, I get talked off, talked over, dismissed. That doesn't stop the assaults.
I can hear how frustrating this has all been for you. I don't blame you for feeling kind of at your wit's end with trying to get support and then not really receiving any adequate support.
Not receiving any support. See, the thing is, when you're being assaulted, the support that you need is support stopping the assaults. When you are living in low income and you're in an assisted living in Chapel, Nebraska, what you need help with is being able to see your friends. Oh God, I had to break my phone apparently. So I get a lot of bullying. That's what I deal with.
I was just going to say, yeah, of course, being able to have, some sort of support from friends or other people definitely can kind of help with, like managing through these really difficult and horrible situations.
Well, I don't have any of those, so I'm on my own. And because I'm on my own, I'm easy to victimize. Because I'm easy to victimize, people do victimize me. If you see me walking down the street or you see 5 people that look like me walking down the street, you're more than likely going to choose the person who's walking by themselves to victimize, and I am always alone. That's what social isolation does to an at-risk adult. It makes us a perpetual victim.
Yeah, it sounds like this is, it sounds like you've been dealing with this for a really long time, and I'm wondering, is there anything you can do this morning to try to, find some joy in life or relax a little bit? I know
those are some terrible ideas. Those are terrible ideas when somebody's being abused. All right, no, I don't get to have any fun. I don't get to have any joy. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder for people who assault me and break my things. I have to look over my shoulder for bad cops who, if they could get away with it, would assault me and break my things as well. Instead of treating somebody like they're crazy when they try to turn in abuse, mandated reporters need to actually do their job as a mandated reporter, not blow off people who are by themselves.
Right, I'm not trying to blow you off. I understand needing support. But right now, the best I can do is kind of help you figure out maybe what else you can do with your day to find some relaxation or something, like maybe.
Well, what I'm hoping is that you will at least write down a note of this conversation. Because, see, here's the thing. I need to turn in abuse in Nebraska and here. But because of the abuse in Nebraska and Colorado and Virginia and here, I literally have no way to defend myself, no way to protect myself. Police have repeatedly used the suicidal bullshit in order to prevent me from turning in my predators, and I'm sick of it. That is literally what pushes people to commit suicide. Kind of like when we're trying to turn in officers who assaulted us, and the people who we're supposed to be turning it into are twiddling their thumbs or playing stupid. It's hurtful. I've literally got thousands of calls recorded where I explained to people what was going on while they talked over me. My personal opinion is that, well, America needs to stop victimizing people who are easy to victimize and recognize them as human beings and actually put some teeth to the laws that are supposed to protect us. It's not okay that we have to call our predators to turn in our predators to themselves. Anyway, I'm gonna hang up on you and try to get some sleep, I guess. Although honestly,
All right,
I do believe that you do need to call the police stations nationwide and explain to all of them that if we're being abused, not to send them to you because you don't care if we're being abused.
I'm sorry you feel like we don't care. We really are trying to help, but it sounds like you're planning to get some rest for today, so I'll let you catch up on your sleep then, okay?
Good night. Oh, only 17 restricted calls during that. Not that it fucking matters. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. You're all complete and total fucking trash. Every goddamn one of you. And of course, we got dipshit Bolnez fucking calling us again. Goddamn restricted numbers.
Did you in court today? Looks like 988 can't help either.
Well, that's for surely Andrew Wolnez. On the bright side, he just admitted I was right. Not that it fucking matters. None of you pieces of shit are gonna call it in with me. You're just watching for goddamn entertainment. That's right. Protection order don't mean shit. Andrew Wolnez walked right across it. And what do you fuckers do? Nothing. Because it's just fucking entertainment, you sick fuckers. Alright, so what are we going to do with these pieces of shit? We'll take a screenshot. And then, of course, hide user on this channel. Yep, there we go with Wolnez again. What are we supposed to do? Call 911. No, I can't block him. He's calling me from restricted numbers.
Tillamook 911, what's the address of your emergency?
This is Sean Schwartz again. The address of my emergency is wherever Andrew Wolnez lives. He's calling me from a restricted number. Still, there is a protection order against him. The fact that the courts gave my safe number to him is illegal and immoral and puts me at risk. He has not stopped calling me since we had the court date a week and a half ago. Might have even been 2 weeks ago. Over 4,000 restricted numbers called. Now, every time that the cops show up here, they bully me over and over and over again because I'm by myself. So there are safety issues with sending the police to me. However, Andrew Wolnez, again, this is probably 8 times now that he's been recorded, that it's actually his voice, and it's definitely for surely his voice.
Okay. So what we have available is to have an officer call you since you don't want them to come to you. Would that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best number to contact you at?
The one that you called me on.
Well, you called me, so what is that number?
Give me just one moment. It's on the back of my phone.
Tell them not to contact you in person, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Of course, we got more trolls on here typing. Getting bullyish, ain't they? We think it's funny. Call me buddy. Oh, forgot. My best friend was shot in 2017. After over a year and a half of her friends and family making my life hell because they were drug addicts. This is just a continuation of that fucking abuse. Police won't do their jobs because I'm a homeless man. Everybody else uses the police as their excuse not to do their job. Yep. And that was Wolnez. Over and over and over again.
Tillamook 911, what's the address of your emergency?
This is Sean Schwartz, same guy as before. The
Hi.
phone number that they call from is a restricted number, and the
Yes,
phone
it is.
number that Andrew Wolnez is harassing me from is a restricted number. And he started calling over and over and over again. So, how am I going to be able to tell your guys' number from his? This is a safety issue that's been going on about 7 years, by the way. I can't tell the difference between a police officer calling from a restricted number and a stalker calling me from a restricted number. Oh, that wasn't useful. I don't remember hanging it up. I was trying to ask useful information, obviously.
Tillamook 911, what's the address to your emergency?
Hello, Sean Schwartz again. We got disconnected. I was going to
Yeah.
say, I don't have a way to differentiate one restricted number from another.
Okay. Unfortunately, his phone it's defaulted to restricted. There's not a way he can turn it off. It's built into their phone.
And that makes it impossible for me to be able to tell your officer from my stalker.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. What I can ask him is if he could possibly try to call it from maybe one of the office phones. And just so you know, we did not give your phone number out over the air, so it was not made public.
It wasn't given out over the air. It was handed to him in court with the packet for the protection order.
Okay, no, I mean tonight we did not give that phone number out over the air, just so you know. But
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will let our officers know, and we'll see if he can call from one of the office phones, which should come out with a phone number.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. We'll have him give you a call that way.
All right. Bye.
All right, thank you.
That's one of the things about 911, same as the domestic violence hotline. They are supposed to ask you if it's safe to give you their number, or safe to give them your number. With 911, not necessarily. You might have to tell them when they ask what your phone number is, and you say that it's a safety issue to tell it. They do need to pay attention to that, because if you're having to call 911 because you've got a perpetrator right there and you don't want him having your phone number, you don't want him having your phone number. This lady said that they did not give my number out over the air, and she's right. Hello? Yep, definitely Wolnez.
Definitely Walden's.
Cute. Let's hang up on them. Hopefully they call from an office phone, because obviously answering a restricted number, what does that result in? And then I'm treated like I make this shit up, like it's a figment of my imagination. No, these are actual phone calls from restricted numbers, people pretending to be someone else, or in this case, just Andrew Wolnez not leaving me the fuck alone. Lady Kane typed, have you tried calling the phone company for a complete block on the stalker number? You can't block a restricted number. It's a restricted number. It says restricted. If my phone number was 1-800-FUCK-YOU and I knew how to turn it to restricted, it wouldn't show up on your caller ID as 1-800-FUCK-YOU. It would show up as restricted. The police use restricted. Most of the services use restricted. And the people who are going to stalk you are probably going to do it restricted as well. They also have unlisted. Well, here's Wolnez, call after call after call. Yep, Wolnez has only called about, I don't know, 20 times in the last 5 minutes. What do you think? Dinah G wants to have the same idea as everybody else. Change my number, change my number, change my number. You know what changing my number does? It makes it so that I have to find the electricity to plug into so that I can call at least 30 other places to tell them that my number has changed. Like, this is not an easy process. Meanwhile, it destroys half the evidence on the phone. The only stuff that stays on there is on the little card that you have to pull out. I know you all have these great and wonderful ideas that are going to fix this shit, but it doesn't. Changing your phone number doesn't fix it. It doesn't stop the abuse. It'd be nice. But the thing is, I shouldn't have to change my phone number all the time because cops did stupid shit or because the courts did stupid shit. Dinah G typed, you sound sick, and then typed, tell them to get a life. You know, I just want them to leave me alone. That's what I want with all of these predators, is for them just to leave me alone. The problem is that they've destroyed every part of my life at this point, and I can't get it back. They destroyed my life on paper. You know what that means? It means my credit is completely fucked. It means that I'm never going to be allowed an honest day in court. It means I'm never going to be allowed to defend myself when people physically assault me. It sucks. Lady Kane typed, oh, I'm sorry, my number is always restricted because of my stalking ex, so I understand. Right? I've never had an ex, but I have had stalkers. Wolnez is just keeping it up, restricted call after restricted call. And the police, even knowing that there's a safety issue here, they will probably call from a restricted number and then say, oh, well, we called. Well, how can I tell your one restricted call among hundreds? Had the same exact thing going on in Dual County with restricted numbers. By the way, this is a completely different phone than I had there, and I'm in a completely different state. It's also a completely different phone number that I had there. But restricted number after restricted number. Folks wonder why I give their numbers out. Well, that's a pretty easy one to figure out. Lady Kane typed, anything I can do to help? Yes, ma'am. You could send a message to doggedroman@gmail.com. That's my email address. I'll send you a message from Natalie Bollinger about who her predators really were. Another thing you can do is to call up everybody that you can. If you type a message about the abuse and send it in. At this point, I don't know. I don't know where you live. I don't know what your abilities are or what your disabilities are. I do know that people not helping me how I need and not following through has resulted in a lot of help that I've been prevented from having. Missouri. doggedroman@gmail.com is my email address. My phone's probably going to die shortly. But you can call the sheriff's department here and the state trooper's office and tell them I'm being abused. I'm getting taken advantage of. I'm being assaulted often and frequently. If you don't feel comfortable saying that I'm assaulted often and frequently because you haven't seen any evidence, let me know. I'll hook you up with a whole bunch of videos of me being assaulted and other people being assaulted. Well, my phone's almost dead. And restricted call after restricted call. See, now how am I supposed to talk to somebody when I have this going on? Meanwhile, in all these situations, it's been friends who have given out my number. Or 911 dispatch operators who had a grudge on their shoulder. When men are actually being stalked, and you get to see here what actual stalking is. When men are actually stalked, you don't give two holy fucking goddams. You talk about how bad it is. Now, if a woman pretends that she is being stalked because she didn't get what she wanted, you will literally stalk a man. This is why I believe that men, especially if they're homeless, especially if they're disabled, should have the option to opt their way out. Restricted call after restricted call after restricted call. Now, since Wolnez has called at least 30 times since the first 911 call, I'd say he is really, really, really busy trying to make sure that I can't click on the right restricted call. Yeah, it's funny. People say stuff like that. Like, yeah, they're a POS for attacking you. Yeah, but you don't do a goddamn thing. And when I say something about that, I mean, huh? If you type a whole bunch about you and try to make it all about you and getting attention for you, I'm a bad person for saying anything. Now, that lady claiming she's got cancer, there's been a few people who got on here and said they had cancer. There's a few people who haven't. I just want to say that that comment wasn't towards the lady with cancer. It was because of the Holly situation. Over and over and over and over. Not that it matters. Nobody's going to call in with me to turn it in.